I am an unlikely politician, but a decision I made back in 2007 changed my life dramatically and allowed me to pursue a lifelong passion to engage in public service. I was studying politics at Queen's University when a position opened up in MP Peter Milliken's office. Talk about the dream job and mentor for a political science student, the longest-serving Speaker of the House of Commons. I spent 7 years in the constituency office as a manager and chief of staff and quickly learned the ropes of supporting constituents on a multitude of different issues. There was and is nothing better than tackling a problem and finding real solutions for people, regardless of the magnitude. This work had a profound impact on our community and the life of the people who live within it. That is what fires and motivates me to step up once again to serve our community as I did in 2014 and 2018. We must maximize the potential that exists in Kingston and the Islands, supporting our world-class institutions such as Queen's University, St. Lawrence College, and Kingston Health Sciences Centre. I have 13 years' experience building trusted relationships, understanding the issues, and ensuring significant investment, optimizing the potential for these institutions to attain the next level. In addition to this, supporting our public healthcare system, improving education, developing affordable housing, enhancing income support, addressing climate change, and continuing the journey toward reconciliation with Indigenous peoples are also issues that motivate me and are of significance to the people of our community. My slogan, integrity, hard work, and results, has been my motto through life. My word is my bond, and loyalty counts for much. To that motto, I have added the word experience. Let me share with you how that background makes me well placed to serve you again. I am immensely proud of what our government was able to accomplish and what I was able to bring to Kingston and the Islands during my service as your provincial Member of Parliament. I had the honor of chairing the Cabinet Committee for Jobs and Economic Prosperity. This was the birthplace of legislation, and I assure you, this committee deliberated passionately on issues that matter to Ontarians. Politics can be the most competitive and challenging when it is within your own political family. I negotiated hard, worked with the Premier and members of her cabinet in securing roughly $1 billion worth of investment in our riding. There were other MPPs who were also working to make sure that when choices were made, their projects, ideas, and proposals would move to the head of the list. It takes gall, stamina, determination, and grit to make the case when you are one of a number of competing interests for public dollars. Like I said, it was hard work, but it paid off for our community. Let me share just a few examples with you of what that kind of advocacy looks like. When the Wolf Islander 3 was stuck awaiting federal inspection, the resulting disruption of service to residents of the islands was frustrating, long, and negatively impacted their daily lives, to say the least. I spoke to the Minister of Transportation, one Stephen Del Duca, to advocate for pressure to be placed on the shipyard that was responsible for the inspection and repairs. Furthermore, I requested that the minister and members of the ministry needed to come to Wolf Island and address the residents with me in a town hall meeting I had organized. He committed to that visit, and I know that Islanders, nor will I, ever forget it. He offered me weekly updates, but I insisted on daily reports. Winter was coming. Stephen came through for me and for the islands. Stephen and I also visited the shipyard in Hamilton to see what was going on. I will never forget Stephen's commitment to see this through and his willingness to help a determined colleague. Remember what I said about taking things to the next level? It was simply not enough that repairs and inspections are undertaken in a timely fashion. Residents of the islands deserve reliable and efficient year-round service. Stephen and I both understood this from our work together with island residents. One of my most proud moments was making the announcement that 2 new electric ferries and significant upgrades to the ferry terminals would make that aspiration a reality. COVID-19 has shone a light on the precarious state of the physical and mental health of too many members in our community and the critical need for supporting a strong, local, public and mental health care system. We have been blessed in our city with state-of-the-art hospitals and healthcare providers, second to none. The most significant budget line in the province is healthcare, and it is, of course, one of the most fiercely competed for. I will never forget what it meant to see 3 years of tough negotiation and advocacy result in $500 million committed by our government for Phase 2 redevelopment of KGH, now known as Kingston Health Science Centre. The significance of that infrastructure investment will be felt for decades to come. Some business owners facing challenges prior to the pandemic were not able to catch the lifeline thrown by the federal government, and sadly, many closed. When a business door closes for the last time, dreams are dashed and lives are changed. Employees suddenly face an uncertain future. It has been a classic case study of the need for a basic income guarantee. We will need strong, experienced representation at Queen's Park to ensure that our public institutions have the resources to respond as we adjust to life post-COVID-19. Our government piloted the Basic Income Guarantee, and it was thrilling to see the differences that initiative made in the lives of the people who benefited from it. Those who had little freedom to choose or maneuver in life were able to set goals and see beyond the immediate horizon of just the next day in their lives. Kingston resident Hugh Siegel has been a tireless advocate for the Basic Income Guarantee and was on the front line with us, steering the pilot project forward. The current government killed that program, in spite of their commitment not to do so. I am committed to bringing this forward once more, and I am honored that Hugh has endorsed my bid to return to Queen's Park. While our political system is adversarial in its makeup, there are always opportunities to reach out across the chamber floor, working together with political opponents. I am proud of the reputation I gained for that cross-party work. The growth in population and opportunity throughout Eastern Ontario over the past 25 years has placed civic infrastructure at the top of the provincial priority list. Second only to healthcare, schools and transportation occupy much of the provincial budgetary priorities. When I was first elected, I was immediately approached by both advocates and opponents of the third crossing of the Cataraqui River. I believed it was important to ensure that all stakeholders were heard and a decision in the best interests of the community was made. In the end, after a couple of years of challenging negotiations, the evidence made it clear to me that we move forward. Consequently, the province of Ontario was the first level of government to commit funding for the third crossing. Additional contributions by the municipal and federal governments followed. This project will ensure safety and the smooth flow of traffic for Kingston's expanding population, especially in the former Pittsburgh Township area. 3 years of negotiation led to the commitment of funding for the construction of the new French language high school in Kingston. This collaboration boasts of cooperative effort on the part of both the Limestone and Algonquin and Lakeshore Catholic District school boards. Following the 2018 election, programs and policies that were making a difference in people's lives were under threat, including advances in the school curriculum and the basic income pilot. We saw early on in the Tory regime that cuts were to be the order of the day. Those cuts were indiscriminate during the memorable chaos of the first year of the Ford government, resulting in workplace disruptions, and the list goes on. My passion for public service since 2018 is by no means diminished. the needs of our community, including the most vulnerable citizens, particularly those in long-term care, the ongoing work of Indigenous reconciliation, greening the economy, cry out for strong advocacy and representation. There is still so much work needing to be done. Since the last election, I took on the role of co-chair of the TET Centre for Creativity and Learning and became the chair of the Ovarian Cancer of Canada Walk of Hope for Kingston. I was Master of Ceremonies for the Ismaili Community's World Partnership Walk and supported the Sisters in Spirit Vigil, honoring missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Last Christmas, I reached out to bring together some remarkable people and organizations to provide care for the caregivers and those vulnerable members of our community they support. The holiday meal program I developed provided hot, nutritious meals while those hard-working year-round volunteers had a break. When COVID-19 struck, my concern was that the community needed to develop a coordinated response to deal with food security and other issues affecting the most vulnerable. The weekly Vulnerable Sector Zoom call was the result, allowing stakeholders to reach out in support of one another, sharing resources and coordinating response. There you have it, friends. Experience, integrity, hard work, results. That is my record both in office and out. The opportunity of serving in office as your MPP will allow me to continue bringing that motto to life, serving you and the people of our amazing riding.